Hello, my dear friends, it's me, Svetlana from New Hampshire with my short monologues about my life, about my habits, about my destiny. I made a lot of monologues, but sometimes I need to stop it to think about new monologues, because when you make a lot of monologues, it's too much for me and for my listener, and I prefer to make maybe 20 monologues. After that, to make stop and wait another situation when I will begin my another serial of monologues. Now I want, and last time I made monologues half a year ago, and now I would do another 20 monologues about life in New Hampshire, about how to live in New Hampshire. You know, live in New Hampshire. New Hampshire is very interesting state. It's very small states, and I live in small city Keene and close to Vermont, and I like to sometimes to go to Vermont, into Brattleboro. You know, Brattleboro is a very beautiful city, but I'm married man who are likes sometimes make these monologues, and I made a monologue from lady from Chicago. You know, I lived in Chicago 8 years. Before Chicago, I lived in California, in San Francisco. No, San Francisco. No, it's a pity I never lived in San Francisco. I lived in Sacramento, and before Sacramento, I lived in Moscow. Before Moscow, I used to live in Yerevan. I spent in Yerevan my young years, my childhood, my school years, and a little bit after school I lived there. And I lived in 20 years I lived in Yerevan, 20 years I lived in Moscow, 20 more, maybe more. And now I lived in America 13 years. 13 years I lived in America, and you know, it's sometimes it's depressive to memory your past life, because I'm old lady. I'm about 60 years old, 59 years old, and here in New Hampshire I have no close friends. My close friend is my wife, who knows about these bad habits, and she understand my psychology, because I'm an artist. I need this video. I need to draw a lot, to write my memoir, and because when you stop working with your soul, you are degraded. We need to every day to make some new art. I'm very artistic person. You know, I'm very artistic person. And I'm not gay. I'm not real gay. Maybe I'm bisexual person, who like exhibition, and of course it's we need to understand our soul. When we live without understanding selves, it's very pity and dangerous for your brain health. Yeah, yes. Now I'm study every Monday. I'm study German in some groups, small groups with some Russian ladies. We study Germans. Before that, twice a week I study Germans, but after 4 months I understand that it's too much for me. I prefer one time a week to study German, because maybe my last life was in German. We need to remember this. I like German language at all, at all. Well, maybe enough for today. Maybe I made another monologues tomorrow, maybe not, I don't know. Miss you a lot, my dear friends. Kiss you a lot. Bye-bye. Be careful.